How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we'd first begun. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace.
Take me back to the bush when I die. It's there that I always could rest, sitting somewhere on the cool grey earth or on a dry bank in the west. Take me back home to the riverbank or out on the endless green plains. Let my soul know the peace and the quiet of my home in the bush once again. Don't pray as you gather around me. Just say a few words from a bard. With someone's sweet verse to see me away, the journey won't then be so hard. And though I'll not hear the calls of the birds or feel the wind gust in the trees, my spirit will soar out over it all, and there I will always be free. Ladies and gentlemen, today there will be some smiles, probably some tears, but hopefully no regrets. Because today we meet to celebrate the life of Michael Newton, better known to us as Mike, a husband, a dad, a father-in-law, a stepfather, a grand and a great-grandfather, a brother, an uncle, and a friend. A man whose life was characterised by hard work, determination, maybe just a small measure of stubbornness. His love of all things nature, fishing and camping, caravanning, and sitting around a campfire. And of course, his quiet pride, his love and his dedication to his family, his wife, Marilyn, his children, Mark and Rod, Vicky and Bruce, and their families. And so I welcome each of you as we have gathered here this morning. My name is Simon, and along with all of the staff here at Parkside, we have been privileged to have been invited to care for Mike after his death and to be a part of this service. I would firstly like to take this opportunity to ask if anyone has not already done so, that they take a moment to turn their mobile phone off or onto silent as your mark of respect for Mike. At the conclusion of our service here in the chapel, the family would love you to join them, and they warmly invite you to stay for refreshments and to share in perhaps a less formal time of remembering Mike's life over a cuppa, a bite to eat and a chat. There are some people who, for varying reasons, are unable to join us and be here with us today, but who nevertheless are here with us both in thought and in spirit. And so I welcome those people who are watching this service via live stream, or perhaps watching at a later time. Mike was the loving and devoted husband to Marilyn, a loving dad and father-in-law to Mark and Kay, Rodney and Liz, to Vicky and to Bruce. A respected stepfather and friend of David and Ian and Kel, and to Janelle. A loved pop of Kirsty, Samuel and Craig, Jeanette, Sammy and Joshua, Robbie, Connor and Chloe, Jazz, Connor, Abby, Thomas, Blake and Leah, and to Brandon and Ella. The loved son of Thomas and Gladys, and a brother of Tony and Bill and Sue and Mary, and a dear uncle to their families. And so today we have come together from different places, and we are all at different stages on our own journeys through life. Our paths are all different, and maybe we look at life in different ways. But there is one thing that we all have in common, and that is at one point or another, and to some degree or another, our lives have had the good fortune of touching Mike's life. And so we put aside our time and we gather here to give expressions to the thoughts and to the feelings that we feel in our hearts today. Just as we would meet to say our goodbye to anyone that we love who was leaving on any journey, we meet this morning to say our public and our collective goodbye here to Mike. We send him off today with our love, a few tears, but also with our blessings, but most of all, with our gratitude for having had Mike in our lives, no matter the relationship that we shared with him. I think death has a way of uniting us in a way that perhaps no other human experience does. It reminds us of the fragility of our relationships. It reminds us of the special and the unique way in which we relate to those people who cross our paths in life. Everyone here has had a different relationship with Mike and will express their loss differently. Grief doesn't always show up in grand gestures, but it lingers in the small and the quiet moments. A half-read book on a bedside table, a coat hanging on a hook, or a fishing rod leant against a garage wall. These everyday things, once so ordinary, become special, not because of what they are, but because of who they belong to. These things tell our stories. They hold our presence. They are powerful reminders. It's important to remember that Mike is still with you. We can't make any new memories with him, but no one can take away the memories that we share with him. It's important to talk about them and to remember the times that you shared, just as we are doing today. And so today is a day where stories will flow, stories that capture the essence of the man that was Michael Newton, stories that will make us smile, maybe have a little chuckle, and remember things long forgotten. And Marilyn and the family have been busy preparing away in the background over this last week. And so to take some time and to stretch our proverbial legs and take a little walk down memory lane, I would like to invite Marilyn to come forward and share some of those memories with us.
Firstly, thank you all for coming today to farewell Mike, also known as Mickey or the Mixter. He'd be pretty chuffed. Unfortunately, Mike's children couldn't make it over from Western Australia. They're also dealing with their mum, who is in a home, very frail and with dementia. Mike was a complex person, but liked the simple things in life. He loved his cups of tea, his lamb chops, fishing, and the Brisbane Lions. He struggled to show his emotions, but that changed in more recent times. Mark, Rod, Vic, and Bruce, your dad loved you and was so proud of all your achievements. He just couldn't find the words to tell you sometimes. A couple of stories I'd like to share with you. Many years ago, when Mike's children were young and his then wife Elaine was away, he decided to cook a couple of rabbits for their tea. Not having done this before, he checked out a recipe book. 1 rabbit, 1 hour. Therefore, 2 rabbits, 2 hours. He often told me that story. Much later on, I came home from work one day to find a plate of beautiful-looking rock cakes on the table. I asked where he had bought them from, as they were so nice, and he insisted he had made them. Seeing as Mike had never shown much in the way of cooking skills, I didn't believe him. Several days later, I was in the pantry, and there, what was sitting? Half a bag of mixed peel. Whoops. Mike never baked again. Sorry, my love. You may wonder about stuffed chimpanzee. Well, you can't see. Can you please get here for me? This is AH. You may wonder about him sitting there. I bought him when we were touring the mainland in our caravan with our friends Chris and Brian, and he sat on the bed in the van. One day, things weren't going real well, and I'd gone into the van, spotted it on the bed, and turned it upside down on the bed. Mike came in and said, "Why?" I just said, "That's you." He looked at me quizzically, and you'll have to excuse me, an arsehole. The chimp became known as AH, and from then on also became our temperature gauge, and we'd often get a giggle about that. Back in the 90s, both Mike and I were smokers. I decided to give it up and went to a hypnotist to do so. Mike decided to come along as well. We got to the hypnotist about half an hour early and sat outside puffing for all our worth, knowing that would be our last ciggy. When we got into the doctor, he immediately told us, "Now you don't stop smoking for 3 days." Oh, okay. Anyway, I never had another smoke, but Mike only lasted a few days and was lighting them up again. He found it so difficult, making several attempts over the years to quit, till he finally won the battle and gave up. About 5 years ago, he took to walking along the foreshore down at the yacht club, which was brilliant for him. These walks became more frequent during the day, and I was so pleased because it was getting him out of the house and he was chatting to everyone else that was down there walking. One day he came home and told me that one lady had asked him could she have a smoke. I said, "What a strange thing to ask you." "Well, I was just sitting down there on the seat having a smoke." No wonder those walks had become more frequent during the day. However, he finally did it and quit forever. I was very proud of him. Mike would often go for a drive and then come home and tell me he'd just been out to see Pete, his nephew, or been up to see Nathan, Pete's son, just for a chat and a catch-up. It was something he just liked to do. Mike loved his fishing with his mate Dale. They would head off to Four Springs or Talbots or Makani and come home with tales to tell. In more recent times, when Dale was unable to go, he would pick up Tony, our brother-in-law, or Rastus as Mike used to call him, and off they would go. Mike really missed his fishing days, and he really missed the company of Dale and Tony. 12 months ago, after a 6-week stint in hospital, I had to make the hardest decision I have ever had to make. To put Mike into Humina Park. It was heartbreaking, and he wasn't happy there, but his health was deteriorating along with his mobility. He had so many health issues, and I mean serious health issues, that he actually made it to just short of his 88th birthday. Is amazing. I used to say, the old bugger will outlive me. However, the past few months had become a real struggle for him, and struggle he did. He's now free of pain, can fly with the angels, and breathe easily. I visited Mike every day, and several times a week I would pick him up, go get a couple of coffees and a cake, and we would either drive through to Penguin or sit down at the yacht club by the water. He so loved that and always said, "This is so peaceful and quiet." We would just sit and watch the seagulls and the boats, count the boat trailers, and watch the wood chips pile grow. This was a special time, as simple as it may be. He so loved those afternoons and always said, "Thanks, Dale, I really enjoyed that." Mike wasn't very musical, but there was one piece of music he loved. It was Bolero, the piece that Torval and Dean danced to when they won the World Skating Championships. Well, my love, today you get to hear it one more time. The only other piece I ever saw Mike tap his fingers or toes to was Chattahoochee. But I guess he heard it in the car so often I'd brainwashed him. You not being here is going to leave a huge gap in my life, but I will eventually rest easy knowing you are not struggling anymore. I love you, Michael. God bless. Thank you.
Beautifully done, Marilyn. What an amazing, honest tribute to your dear Mike. Mike left our world on Sunday morning. It was a lot quicker than we had anticipated, but as Marilyn said, he leaves behind all of his pain, his anguish. He was ready, and he leaves on his next journey with our blessing. Rest peacefully, Mike. Forever fishing.
When I get where I'm going, on the far side of the sky, the first thing that I'm gonna do is spread my wings and fly. I'm gonna land beside a lion and run my fingers through his mane, or I might find out what it's like to ride a drop of rain. Yeah, when I get where I'm going, there'll be only happy tears. I will shed the sins and struggles I have carried all these years, and I'll leave my heart wide open. I will love and have no fear. Yeah, when I get where I'm going, don't cry for me down here. I'm gonna walk with my granddaddy, and he'll match me step for step, and I'll tell him how I've missed him every minute since he left. And then I'll hug his neck. Yeah, when I get where I'm going, there'll be only happy tears. I will shed the sins and struggles I have carried all these years, and I'll leave my heart wide open. I will love and have no fear. Yeah, when I get where I'm going, don't cry for me down here. With so much pain and so much darkness in this world we stumble through, all these questions I can't answer, and so much work to do. But when I get where I'm going, and I see my Maker's face, I'll stand forever in the light of His amazing grace.
Say goodnight, not goodbye. You will never leave my heart behind. Like the path of a star, I'll be anywhere you are. In the spark that lies beneath the coals, in the secret place inside your soul, keep my light in your eyes. Say goodnight, not goodbye. Don't you fear when you dream, waking up is never what it seems. jewel buried deep, like a promise meant to keep. You are everything you wanna be, so just let your heart reach out to me. I'll be right by your side. Say goodnight, not goodbye. You are everything you wanna be, so just let your heart reach out to me. Keep my light in your eyes. Say goodnight, not goodbye. Say goodnight, not
I've heard it said that for some people, nature can be their church. And I think maybe that rings true a little bit for Mike. The bush, the lakes, the rivers, the creeks that he fished in, that he camped next to, provided him with, I guess, comfort, maybe solace at times in his life. Mike believed that he would once again be reunited with all of those people that he has loved and lost in this life. A little quote that I found says it like this: "The beautiful irony is that our loss is another's reunion." No one really knows what lies beyond death, but Mike had a faith in his version of heaven. And so, as a mark of respect to Mike and to his Catholic upbringing, would you please join me in saying the Lord's Prayer? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Mike was a giver of his time, his respect, his pride, and his love. And so I invite Mike's family to come forward and to take a few quiet moments with him. Place a flower upon his coffin, and as you do, I would invite you to reflect upon what it was that Mike has given to you.
If I could win your heart, if you let me in your heart. I'd be so happy, baby, just for these arms to be holding you close to me. There's nothing in this world I won't try. No limit to what I do to make you mine. 'Cause I'd climb right up to the sky. I'd take down the stars just to be in your arms, baby. I'd go and capture the moon. That's what I would do, just to hear you say that you love me. Just to hear you say that you love me. If I could taste your kiss, there'd be no sweeter gift heaven could offer, baby.
Oh, baby,
I want to be the one living to give you love. I'd walk across this world just to be close to you, 'cause I want you close to me. Yeah. I'd climb right up to the sky. Take down the stars just to be in your arms, baby. I'd go and capture the moon. That's what I would do, just to hear you say that you love me. Just to hear you say that you love me for the rest of your life. Love me for the rest of all time.
baby, baby.
Just say the word and I'll give you my world. There's nothing I won't do, baby, just to be with you.
What we're essentially doing today is the putting away of Mike's body, locking him safely within our hearts. We deeply love and respect Mike's body. It carried around his spirit, his personality, himself for his 87 years. But now the thing that lit up his eyes, the thing that gave us his smile, his stubbornness, the thing that made his body work and fish, the thing that knew you and let you know him, the thing that enlivened his body is gone. But that thing will never be completely lost to us, because we all have a little bit of it stuck inside of us. And we will have too, until one day we find ourselves in a place like this, with somebody like me clumsily reading words at our own service. But until then, we will never forget Mike. We'll act a bit like him. We'll think we'll laugh at the same things that he would laugh at. And we'll probably cry a bit from time to time because of him. Mike will visit us in our dreams, and tears will form. But so will a smile, because we'll smile the smile of someone who has had the honour of knowing Michael Newton. But for now, Mike remains locked up inside of you, warm in your hearts, safe in your love. Let Mike rest there. Let him ride with you. Take Mike away with you today, and remember what it was that made him special to you. Be stronger for him. Be better. Be kinder. Your husband, your dad, your pop, your brother, your friend, your Mike. And so, Mike, we say goodbye now to your physical presence amongst us, and we commit you We commit you to our hearts, to our minds, and to our memories. We commit to the telling of your stories so that others will know you. We commit to loving you from now until eternity, and we commit to supporting each other through our loss of you. And gently and tenderly, we commit your earthly body for cremation, eventually to return to the earth from which all life come and to which all life returns, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. A final little reading that I found to close that says, "When I come to the end of my journey and I travel my last weary mile, just forget if you can that I ever frowned. Remember only my smile. Forget unkind words I've spoken. Remember the good that I've done. Forget that I ever had heartache, and remember I had loads of fun. Forget that I stumbled and blundered, and sometimes I fell by the way. Remember I fought some hard battles, and I won at the close of the day. Then forget to grieve for my going. I would not have you sad for a day. But in summer, just gather some flowers and remember the place where I lay. And come in the shade of the evening, when the sun paints the sky in the west. Stand a few moments beside me. Remember only my best." Ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare to leave the chapel, would you please stand?